Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a plunge, a really fascinating one, into an inspiring philosophy. It's about the surprising power. Well, the power of giving. Our source for this is The Gift of Giving, Kalam's philosophy of contribution, by the renowned scientist and former president of India, A.P.J. Abdul Kalam.
A truly remarkable figure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And his central message is, it's quite transformative, really. He argues that true progress, true happiness, it doesn't actually come from what we get.
Right. It comes from what we give.
Exactly.
Right.
He emphasizes how collective growth, families, communities, even nations, it rests squarely on individual generosity.
And that can be so many things. Knowledge, resources, just time, or compassion.
Yeah, all of that.
And our mission today really is to explore how this profound yet kind of beautifully compact philosophy can genuinely reshape people and communities too.
That's the goal.
What's amazing, I think, is just how universal it feels and practical. Kalam's wisdom here, it speaks to anyone, really, anywhere. Doesn't matter your background.
That universality is key, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially for giving. But he pushes beyond just, simple charity.
Oh, definitely.
He challenges us to pivot.
Yeah.
To move from that, what can I take mindset.
Yeah, the taking mentality.
Which he links pretty strongly to selfishness, corruption, inequity, all those things. And shift to a what can I give mindset.
Yeah.
How radical is that shift in his view? Why is it so fundamental?
Well, it's absolutely foundational. If you think about the bigger picture, Kalam, he had this deep sense, combining science and spirit, that every single person has this unique, he called it a divine fire.
A divine fire, like an inner spark?
Exactly, an inner spark, a source of potential, of purpose. And he suggests the real task, our task, is to fan that flame. Not just for ourselves,
But to uplift others.
Yes, to let that inner glow illuminate the world around us. It's like our highest calling, he believed, radiating that light outwards. Your own fulfillment comes from contributing.
And it's not just about, huge donations or grand gestures.
Not at all.
Kalam points out, fascinatingly, I think, how even really small acts of generosity can matter hugely.
Like what sort of things?
Well, sharing knowledge, offering support, even just a genuine smile. He says these things significantly strengthen our social bonds.
Ah, the connections between people.
Right. He saw generosity as wonderfully contagious. Not just nice, but it multiplies.
Like a ripple effect.
Exactly. A social multiplier. One person gives sincerely, and it inspires others. Maybe they give back, maybe they pay it forward. It creates this tangible strengthening of society, almost like a positive virus spreading goodwill.
That brings up an important point, though. Does your ability to contribute depend on, say, how wealthy you are? Do you need deep pockets?
That's a common question, isn't it?
It is. But Kalam is really firm on this. He states clearly, you don't need to be rich to give.
So it's not about the scale.
No. He stresses that true giving is measured by sincerity. That's the measure. Not the size or the scale. A kind word, genuine mentorship, even just projecting a positive attitude.
That can have just as much impact.
Sometimes even more. More than a big financial donation, potentially. It's truly about the heart behind the gift, not its monetary value or how big it looks on the outside.
That focus on sincerity really changes the definition of giving, doesn't it?
Completely.
So, okay, if individual sincerity is where it starts, how does Kalam see this scaling up? How does it tackle bigger issues like corruption or just widespread selfishness? Does he offer a sort of societal blueprint?
He does, actually. He explains that corruption fundamentally often starts when people or groups are just focused on taking more than they contribute.
Creates an imbalance.
Right. Leads to imbalance exploitation. So by fostering this giving-first mindset, starting in homes and schools, right across society, we can gradually build a culture where integrity or trust, they become the pillars. The foundation for progress.
Ah, so it's a cultural shift.
It's a fundamental shift, moving away from that scarcity, thinking everyone fighting for a slice of a limited pie towards abundance through, collective contribution, everyone adding to the pie.
So he wasn't just talking theory. Kalam really laid out practical ways to do this, daily ways.
Very practical.
He suggests educators, parents, they're not just teaching facts. They're giving compassion, patience, moral values. They're helping shape the next generation to use that divine fire for others.
Yeah, nurturing that spark.
And students, young professionals, they can volunteer skills, mentor others, extend their own light. It shows giving isn't just for the rich or powerful.
Anyone can do it.
Right. And even communities, organizations, they can foster this culture too, even with small things, like just recognizing someone's effort. That can spark bigger changes.
It all ties back to his core belief. Our greatest enrichment, our
Mm,
deepest happiness, it doesn't come from hoarding things, it comes from sharing.
that's powerful.
As he put it so eloquently, in giving, you receive happiness in body and soul.
A beautiful thought to end on. So here's a final provocative thought for you to mull over. Consider just one small, sincere thing you could give today.
Could be anything.
Anything. Your time, maybe a skill you have, or even just a moment of genuine presence for someone. And then just reflect. How might that seemingly tiny act contribute to a larger light? How might it fan that divine fire, both in yourself and maybe in others too?